Hello everybody, welcome back to another book review. Today I'll be reviewing this book. It's called Bagombo Snuff by Kurt Vonnegut. It is it's a bunch of his short fictions when he first started writing, like the very first stuff that actually when this was put together, it was put together in like 1999. And so someone had to go back and scour around for all of his like beginning stuff, and the stuff that he was kind of starting to like break out with and just sell to different periodicals back then, which was much more of it was much more of a plausible scenario in order to make money, to make a living back then than it is today, and how that kind of translated into writing like novelettes and all that. So a lot of that information from this book is from the preface and introduction, possibly one of the, as a Kurt Vonnegut fan, the more important part of this book. Because it's a collection of short stories, and it's his early work, so you're not really getting the Kurt Vonnegut that you know and love probably from some of his later books. You're kind of getting his experimental stages, and also you're getting a lot of his what he deemed possibly more PC material. The fact that he was trying to market himself as a writer and trying to make money off of it, you get a very different version of Kurt Vonnegut in this book. He's also trying to fill out his style, and so you kind of see that emerge as you go along. I believe these are put together in the sense of like when they were chronologically like written. Maybe not. I'm not exactly sure. Doesn't say when each one was written. That'd be very interesting. I would have hoped that'd be the process in putting this book together. So this book's possibly more for like the diehard Kurt Vonnegut fans. It was very helpful to me to kind of see, like I said, him trying to experiment, him trying to get the feel for his style. You get a little bit more, you get a bit of him that's kind of filtered and kind of maybe a little censored. You get a little bit of the sense that like maybe he had a certain periodical audience in mind for some of these short stories. All in all, a really cool book to get into for the fact of learning about Kurt Vonnegut a little deeper. And there was a series of stories that I particularly thought was excellent. They were about a band director who's just like over the top band director, really putting together like a kind of a crazy program, and just being like the kind of a curse, like to the school he belongs to, but also like a blessing. You know, he brings a lot of attention to the school he's at, but he's also pretty costly. You know, he has got to have the biggest spectacle. He's got to have like just like the biggest and best new thing. So whatever is like the new thing for like marching bands, he's got to have it. There's like 3, maybe 4 of those. They're not right on top of each other. They're kind of split up into the book, and those are really fun to read. And also there's probably fragments of some later stories. I think I got the gist that there was some pieces of future stories that would be like re-charactered, but like you kind of have the framework there. Again, I want to go back to the idea that this book, it was kind of like short and sweet per story, and then some of them were kind of a little disappointing in the sense that You know, I got into Vonnegut reading, you know, as he in his like most giant like form, and you get kind of like, you know, he was working for General Electric at the time. He was he didn't make it big until he was like 47 years old, and he was just kind of like experimenting, see if he could do it, see if he wanted to do it, and yeah. So that's what we got here with Bagombo Snuff Box by Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah, I would suggest it for any big Kurt Vonnegut fan. Really make sure to read the preface and the introduction. That's where the good stuff is. So that's my short but sweet review of that book. And the next book review I have is another Robert A. Heinlein book. Let me get this little. It's Have Spacesuit Will Travel. And you know what? This definitely fits the Robert A. Heinlein's story structure that I feel was more meant for like preteen, a preteen audience. You know, like the comic book audience. When you know what? I'm just getting into it right now. Let me go ahead and stop it right there. But yeah, the next book review will be that book, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye.